morning I'm getting ready to plant some more vegetables in our garden. This is probably the first year we've actually done this. We have planned on doing it for several years, but never got around to it. We've just been so busy harvesting that we've never actually planted towards the later part of the year. So we're going to plant some things that we should have planted in the spring, but we never had time to because we were so busy. So I just spent a few minutes cleaning out the weeds that were growing here. Most of it was just grass. This section right here has really thick wood chips, and pulling that grass out was super easy. This spot has not been touched in months. We haven't watered it, even though it's got that drip line there. We haven't watered it. We also have not weeded a thing in this section. And the weeds really aren't bad. They're not very thick and they're super easy to pull. This side down here is going to be a different story. This is where wood chips start to thin out, and you can see the weeds have just taken over, and it's going to be a bit of a chore to weed. The wood chips are definitely helping. They haven't kept all the weeds out, of course, but they are keeping them under control so that we have time to get to them. So I really want to get the wheelbarrow in here to move some of these wood chips from the end where they're really deep down to the end where they're not as I dig down to the soil. But as we talked about before, there's my walkway to get in. I'm not getting a wheelbarrow through that. So I'm gonna have to go get some help. We're gonna have to lift it over top of this fence. Some deforestation I see. We've got an escapee on our hand. What are you doing out there? What's the big idea? Maybe we live in Vegas or a house with picket fencing. Oh, what our love could do. If I got you, babe, you got me. There ain't nothing we couldn't. That's the second time this goat has gotten out this week. Somehow he's getting his lead unclipped. He just got one of these on the end and he gets it unclipped somehow and just gets loose. Not sure how he's doing it. Too smart for his own good. Start a family business. Oh, what our love could do. Maybe we'll find some best friends or a dog named Fred, and that's it. Oh, what our love could do. If I got you, babe. We're only like midway through August. We still have over a month of summer left, but starting to feel kind of a rush to get some things done. There's lots of projects we want to get done this summer. Getting some more fencing put in, getting this more stuff in the garden, obviously. Getting some things cleaned up. We're also getting all of our hay stored for the winter, and we have a giant pile of firewood we got to get cut up. We bought some firewood this year instead of going to the forest to cut it out, which we normally do. So a lot of things we still got to do. Starting to feel the time crunch because the kids start school in about a week and a half. Next week is our county fair, and then the week after that the kids start school already, and so football games are going to be starting. That's fall stuff, right? So yeah, I feel like we need to just get going and get a lot of these projects done. Hopefully we've got time for it before winter comes in. It's going to come quick.
It off my head. I just wanted to show these cabbages I just picked. Got 10 so far, and they are good size. They look beautiful. I'm gonna be making lots of sauerkraut. I also just wanted to point out something that has helped us a ton in our homesteading is something called diatomaceous earth, or DE for short. We actually were really blessed. There was a company here locally that used to sell it, and they had some get a few leaves in it or something, and so they just gave it away for free. And so I picked a bunch of it up then, and that was several years ago. But I can't tell you exactly what it is. Basically, it's like the soil from the bottom of a pond or something. Anyway, look it up if you've never heard of it. But it's amazing stuff because it kills bugs, but it's safe for humans and animals. So it's just a white powder, and I've been sprinkling it on these cabbage plants for the last few weeks because we've had so many grasshoppers and moths. And as I picked these, there's a few eaten spots in them, and I found a few little worms, but for the most part they are barely touched, and that DE works really well. We use it for deworming our animals. You could sprinkle it on any of your plants if they're getting eaten. It works really, really well for killing bugs.
Getting this drip tape put in place. Back in the spring when I showed you how we put in our drip system, somebody had asked, I forgot to mention, how we end this drip tape. This one has no end on it. Pretty simple. Literally just take that end, just do an overhand knot in it, pull it tight. That's it. They have connectors to put on the end. They're like $3 a piece or something. Just way more than I want to spend for something that's easy enough to do that way. There's hardly a cloud in the sky, and you still can't see our mountains over in the distance. It is smoky today. California, I blame you. Actually the next day, but I wanted to jump on here real quick and just kind of wrap this up. We spent the majority of the rest of yesterday dealing with these cabbage. We ended up with all of that sauerkraut. 10 quarts and then 2 giant old pickle jars full of sauerkraut that we made from those cabbages. So that took us quite a while to cut that all up and get it all ready. So we're done with that. Now we are moving on to preparing for the fair. They are getting the horses ready over there. Fair starts tomorrow. So that's going to be our next videos. Everything that we have to go through to prepare for this fair. But yeah, I just want to wrap up with that. We will have a video out next week about the fair. In the meantime, please subscribe. And if you like this video, like it. And peace.